And a top story at WION's Climate Tracker, the death toll from a devastating storm Helene that battered the southeastern United States has climbed to at least 130, with hundreds still missing, and the death toll climbing. President Joe Biden announced he would travel to storm-ravaged North Carolina on Wednesday to monitor rescue efforts.
Governor Cooper and I have spoken about my traveling to North Carolina and to survey the damage as soon as I can without taking resources or diverting resources on the ground. And we're going to stay as long as it takes when we get this thing going. I'm going to North Carolina on Wednesday. It's planned now. We're going to be landing in Raleigh for a briefing with the Emergency Operations Center.
Meanwhile, Democratic presidential nominee and Vice President Kamala Harris is cutting short a campaign visit to Las Vegas to return to Washington for a briefing.
To everyone who has been impacted by this storm, and to all of those of you who are rightly feeling overwhelmed by the destruction and the loss, our nation is with you. And President Biden and I and all of the folks behind me are with you. We will continue to do everything we can to help you recover and to help you rebuild, no matter how long it takes.
The scores of residents lined up outside a local grocery store in Asheville, North Carolina to stock up on items. Crews are airlifting emergency food and water into remote North Carolina towns that were cut off and devastated by Tropical Storm Helene that turned the western part of the state into a post-apocalyptic landscape. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper said that the damage from Hurricane Helene in western North Carolina is extensive and devastating.
This has been an unprecedented storm that has hit western North Carolina. It's requiring an unprecedented response. We're here today with FEMA officials, state officials, local officials, working hard to surge resources into this area. There are 92 rescue teams out working, doing search and rescue right now.
In Westminster, in South Carolina, a large part of the road fell through in the Helene's aftermath.
And around us, there's been a lot of flooding. I've seen houses flooded and trees on houses, trees on a car. So some of the things I've seen firsthand, but others just with footage that I've seen when I've been able to get internet and see footage from online.
Drone footage showed large-scale destruction after Hurricane Helene passed through North Carolina. In Asheville, floodwater turned roads into rivers while debris littered roads and around stores. In Swannanoa, roads and paths were caked in mud. More than 40 trillion gallons of rain drenched the southeast United States, and that is enough to fill the Dallas Cowboys Stadium 51,000 times, or maybe Lake Tahoe just once. If it was concentrated just on the state of North Carolina, damaged water would be 3.5 feet deep, and that is enough to fill more than 60 million Olympic-sized swimming pools.
If we look at the amount of rainfall that fell from Hurricane Helene in the preceding event, it's about 40 trillion gallons, as calculated by our colleague Brian Maui. That is converted to acre feet. That is 120 million acre feet of water, which is 2 to 3 times the amount of storage that is in the Colorado Basin River system from both Lakes Powell's and Lake Mead.
As the disaster became a hot topic in an already bitter election campaign, with the White House angrily refuting claims it had been slow to respond, Biden also accused former President Donald Trump of spreading lies. Now, for the Republican presidential candidate charged without evidence that federal government was ignoring the disaster brought on by Hurricane Helene and denying help to his supporters. Now, emergency workers continued a grim search for hundreds of people still unaccounted for across affected areas. They also worked to restore water and power supply to the affected areas, remove fallen trees, deliver supplies, and register people for disaster assistance. Now, authorities have warned that with cell phone service knocked out across much of the region and up to 600 missing people, that the death toll was expected to rise. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump arrived in Georgia, another epicenter of the destruction, in the city of Valdosta, Georgia. Now, Trump vowed to bring lots of relief material, including fuel, equipment, water, and other things to those in need.
Thank you to all of them. Working together, we'll overcome these hardships. We'll endure. We will rebuild Valdosta and every other town that has been so badly hit, and we'll emerge stronger, more united, and more prosperous than ever before. You're going to be stronger, better. You're going to learn a lot from it. And again, we pray to God for those that have been so badly injured, and for, in particular, for the people that are no longer with us. And God bless everybody.